Hello friends, today I'm going to show you how to build SQL Server 2019 DBA real-time home lab in Azure. If you want to build the same, you need 1 lakh rupees to purchase the laptop and 70,000 rupees around in the desktop. Okay, and we need certain requirements to build in the home lab. I already shown you how to do that in our own laptop. Okay, so if anybody doesn't have that hardware requirements, okay, for that purpose we can do the configure the same in Azure as well. For that we need required trial account, or otherwise we require like if you have if you go with the free trial account, we can use only 4 CPU, one CPU for domain and another 2 CPUs for node, another 3 for you can use for node 1 and node 2. Okay, so right now I am using a paid subscription, and if you see here I'm going to build this cluster in multi-subnet environment. Okay, so I'm taking three voices. One is for one I'm going to use as a domain voice, and another two Windows Server 19 voice as a member server. I'm going to add these two servers into abc.com domain. Okay, so but one thing I would like to highlight in this video is when building real-time home lab in Azure than in our laptop is little bit different. Why? Because we will get some architectural differences, and so I will clearly explain you. So those differences. So previously we had a virtual name cluster. So in that, what will happen when we build that cluster? So the cluster IP will be the IP. The cluster IP will contain the active node of the IP. Okay, so but in the from 2019 onwards, so what is happened? So DNN come into picture. So in this category, what will happen? The cluster IP will registered with the IPs what are the participating in the uh, cluster. For example, if you have created a cluster with two nodes, okay, the cluster which is the role we have created in the cluster, that cluster IP is going to register with two IPs of the nodes in the DNS. Okay, so one node will be active. Okay, when for example no node IP will have to is if you cluster ping to the cluster, it will give node IP. If the services are running on node 2, it will give the node 2 IP. Okay, so for that reason, so the DNN will register with two IPs in the DNS. Okay, so for multi-subnet, we no need to require for load balancer for listener purpose, but however it required for single subnet. Okay, we can configure the load balancer if the participated VMs are in same available set or zone only. Otherwise, it is not possible to configure the load balancer. So these are the simple differences that we have when compared to on-prem. Okay, so for error with troubleshooting, that one I would like to highlight. So all member servers should be a part of the domain. That is a mandatory thing. So firewall should be off. Why? Because the domain by default, there are two firewalls are there. One is public and one is private. When you add that system into the domain, again at the time after that domain firewall will get added. So we need to turn off. Why? Because we are a DB administrators. We want to simulate that real-time network. So that's the reason. I mean, we are building all of this. Okay, but in the real time, we are not going to do all of this. Okay, certain respective teams will be there, but when it's come to home lab, we have to act everything. Okay, for that reason, since we are not network administrator and it is not required for us. So for that reason, we are simply disabling the firewall. So before doing anything, we need to check the communication and between either ping is happening or not, NS lookup is or not, is everything fine. First, we need to check the communication and that not respective IPs are there or not. So we need to check that everything before doing anything. So, and one more thing, login with the domain administrator or the user, which is domain level permissions. So whenever you are going to login system, that should be a domain user which is having certain privileges, like that user will have to create the objects Okay, should we read the objects in the domain level? Why? Because when you are going to build that, you have going to create the clusters, roles and everything. That roles automatically have to be registered in the DNS and Active Directory. So that permission should have. Okay, sometimes you are unable to connections when you connect to passive node. Why? Because that series IPs clusters IP in the configuration I have to add via Azure portal. That this one I will show you the practically as well if necessary. Why? Because communication is mandatory here. So if the communication happening, it's good. If your communication is not happening, we have to follow the sixth step. Okay, coming to the step what we are going to do that. First I am going to create a resource group, and that we are going to create one vnet and with two subnets. The vnet range is this one, and vnet a and vnet 2 is one. Okay, so I'm going to deploy one dc server in the domain, in the subnet a, and node 1 and node 2, node 1 should be in subnet a and node 2 should be in subnet b. Okay, in the node 1 I am going to deploy the dc and a as well. Okay, I mean node 1 and dc. In subnet b I am going to deploy only node b. Okay, so after that, so I'm going to configure these are dns access target servers and everything, and I'm going to build the domain with the name called abc.com. Okay, after that I'm going to deploy two windows server OS with the name of node 1 and node 2. Okay, node 1 should be deployed in the subnet way. Yeah, I already showed this discussed in the first point. So once I've added into that domain IP for communication purpose, we need to add that IP as well in the private node 1 and node 2 of the domain. Okay, the domain private IP address should be added, okay, in the DNS of Azure, node 1 and node 2 via Azure portal. So once we done that, we are going to add all these servers in multi-disk for easy administrators. For example, if you want to do restart again, I need to download the RTP file, I need to enter the username and password, everything. So I don't want to need this kind of for easy administrator. I will go I use multi-disk, or otherwise if you I am familiar with multi-disk. If you want to use, you can also use remote desktop connection manager is also there. Okay, so this is a portable tool, no need to install as well. Okay, if you are familiar with others, you can go for with that. This is optional. Okay, you know, it's not like mandatory. For easy administration I am using this. So once you added that, domain and public firewall should be turned off in the domain, and node 1 and node 2 as well. You okay, mm, you have to add the node 1 and node 2, disable the firewalls once you join that. So now after that we need to create the virtual hard disk and domain, and should be assigned to the node 1 and node 2. After that we need to connect to the iSCSI initiator, and we have to assign the drive letters in the node 1 and node 2. And one thing what we need to remember is that drive letters format and allocation should be the same. Okay, so I will prefer as of now NTFS should be location, should be format and 64-bit. So these things has to be configured 64-bit. Why? Because space should not go waste, right? So for that purpose, I recommend 64-bit allocation. Okay, so once you have done everything, you have to create the cluster using this PowerShell command. If you use this PowerShell command, so in the Azure network also it will build like a traditional architecture. Okay, you have to use the management point singleton. Okay, this point you have to highlight it. Okay, so after that, that one I want to remove. Okay, yeah, I can do. So I need to install failover cluster in node 1, and where I need to install failover cluster an option in node 2. I need to add it. So this configuration will act as an active passive cluster. After that I need to install SSMS in node 1 and node 2. After that I need to install failover cluster 01 02. So why? Because I need to simulate the active SQL cluster as well. This is optional. Okay, this is rarely if you want to utilize effective CPU. Why? Because in active passive cluster, one system should be in active, another system should be in a passive state. Why? Because the resources are consuming only from the active node. So I don't want to go like this. Half of the database should run on the node 1 and half of the database should run on the node 2. In that scenario only, if you want to go, you can go that. Okay. For if you want to build this point, you need to install automation failure cluster automation server as well. Okay. So install standalone 2019 Hyderabad 01 and install 2019 Node 2 as well for to build the normal always on and to build log shipping and everything. Okay, so you need to enable always on feature in Node 1 and Node 2 and you have to configure. So you can download any adventure works or Node1 database for replication practicals. So after that you can configure log shipping, mirroring and transaction replication. So after this the real-time home lab is completed. So finally we build that. So if you want to implement any scenario and you can implement it. Okay, so like that we will build a lab, real-time home lab in Azure. Okay, so let's see the practical one by one. Okay, so open your browser. So here I have already showed you how to do that in real time. Sorry, in your home laptop. Okay, without touching Azure. Okay, so go to visit this site and you can download a multi-disk version. So if you see here, come down. About I'm using multi-disk 3.16 version. Okay, so I'm closing this. So right now here, so as said in the point first, go to resource group. Okay, click here. So one thing you need to remember, resource group is just a small thing. It is like just a folder. Okay, so for we are doing all this for testing purpose. So I'm writing as a testing. Okay, click on. I'm creating a resource group in East US region. Does that doesn't mean that you can have only create the OS which are created in the USA, but there is no relation that for the reason where you are creating for the resource group and the reason. Okay, you can create the resource group in the used region and you can deploy other VMs like VMs which are from other region as well. Okay, just remember one thing: creating a resource group is just like creating a folder in your is just equivalent like creating a folder in our Windows. Okay, click review and create. Validation passed, click create. Yeah, resource group has been completed. Just go, click on that, click on resource group here, type here testing. Say testing is there. Okay, see currently I don't have any resources as well. Okay, now click home. Now type virtual networks here. Okay, click create. So you have to select your resource group. Select resource group testing. Okay, so what is the resource group here? Okay, primary vnet. Okay, click next IP address. So what are the IPs? 1.1 dot, if you see 1.1.16. Okay, that's good. Okay, so add subnet here, subnet A 10.1.1.0/24. Okay, so don't touch anything here. This is all not required for us. Click add. Okay, so subnet A is added. If you see here, subnet 1.1.0.0 tag 24. Now we need to add another subnet. Subnet B 1.2.0/24. Okay, click add. So I have created one network and two subnets. Click create. Click create. Deployment has been completed successfully. Just go home, cross check one check. Here, primary VNet has been created. Click here. Two subnets are there. One is subnet A and subnet B. As of now, I don't have any devices connected here. Okay. Now it's time to deploy the VMs. Click on VMs here. Click create Azure Virtual Machine. So which resource group I need to select here? I need to select here testing. So what is the VM name? DC. Okay, so the availability zone, if you want no infrastructure, you can select it. As of now, doesn't require for me. Okay, so not required for me. So I need no select data center 2019 data center. Okay, so type here SQL admin. Give the complex password. Okay, select that ports. By default, RDB should be enabled. Click this box, and come to networking. Okay, so by default, it is going to place subnet A. Okay, that's good. Fine. Okay, come to monitoring. So boot diagnostic is not enabled us. Click disable. So click on review and create. So per 1 hour, it is going to charge 11 rupees 70 pice. Okay, for me almost. Okay, so by this all this practical, I'm going it's around like 150 rupees for me, but doesn't cost for me. For I want to show that practically for that reason, so I'm showing even the money cost. Doesn't matter for me. Click create. Deployment has been completed successfully. So click on go to resource. Okay, no, that DC virtual agent is not it. Okay, just click on refresh. I'm not sure what happened to this. Go to virtual machines, click on DC. Okay, so no problem, issue has been resolved here. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is I'm taking the public IP, opening the multi-disk, click here, add server, paste the IP, type the DC name here, type SQL admin, type the password, click OK. So I can directly double click on that. So it will give the password. So every time it is not going to ask the password for me. So for that purpose, I like the multi-disk application. Click yes. So click on don't show this button, not required for us. So once the refresh has been completed, click on manage, click add roles and features, check the box, not required, next, next, next. So we need a active directory domain services, click add that, DNS, add that, okay, file storage, file size, ISKC target server. This one I need to, why? Because for domain it is not required, but for storage purpose I require. I am taking this, converting this DC as a SAN server as well. For that purpose I am using this. Okay. Now click next, not next, 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 install. Okay, so initialization required, the roles has initialization has been completed. If we see here, promote this server to domain, you can click on this, or otherwise click close button, click on the flag. Here you can get that promote this server to domain. Click on that, add a new forest. Here type abc.com. Click next, give the password. This password is to restore the directory services mode. Okay, not for the domain. To go into and restore any objects, then you need this password. Next, click next. So active directory folders, okay, NTDS stands for new technology directory service. Okay, click next. All prerequisite checks passed successfully. Now click install. So it is asking for sign out. Click on close, click close. So it is going to restart. So it got disconnected, no problem. So it is going to get restart, right? So we have to wait for 1 minute. So as of now we have completed the first step. Okay, so we have created resource vnet and with two subnets and deployed one OS and install configured. Okay, mm, this one what abc.com. Okay, so now we need to deploy two Windows server with Node1 and Node2. Okay, Node1 should be in subnet A and Node2 should be in subnet B. Let's do that. Now click to virtual machines. Click create Azure virtual machine. Select resource group testing. Node1 here. Node1 is to US. So availability zone is not required for us. So no infrastructure required. Select Windows Server 2010. Type here SQL admin. Same. Okay. Type. So for easy convenience, but I don't want to mess up with the with username and password. For that reason, I am giving this. Same. Come to monitoring. Disable this. Not required. When you have troubleshooting purpose, we require boost. After the until then, that is not required. Come to networking. So subnet A. That's good. Okay. Click create. So validation has been completed. Click create. Click on virtual machines. click create. So select testing, click create, testing, Node2. Okay, Node2. Sorry, here I have given Node2, right? Here I need to give SQL admin. Click networking. Here I need to place in the subnet B for Node2. Okay, click monitoring, disable, click on review on create. So it's going to check the validation. So validation has been completed. See the price and everything. Click create. So to deploy Node1 and Node both are in. So Node1 has been completed. Okay. So Node2 is going. I mean is in progress. Create. Just wait for 5 minutes. So Node2 has a VMR creation has been completed. So click dismiss all. Go to virtual machines. So I am having DC and Node1 and Node2. So click on Node1, copy the public IP address, go to open multi-disk, click on servers. Okay, come here, add server. Type here Node1. Okay, paste that IP, give the SQL admin, click OK, and open your browser, click on Node2, copy the public IP address, open multi-disk, add server, paste that IP, Node2. Click OK. So I have created two VMs with the name Node1 and Node2, and I have added those servers for into multi for easy operation. Open OK, and this one is also done. Add domain. Here I need to add domain private address in Node1 and Node2 in the Azure portal. Let's see what could the private IP. Go to DC, double click. That's it. Type IP config. So this is the private IP of domain. Select all, press enter. So it will get copied. Go to outside of this, type notepad, type here. Okay, just co copy this, open your browser, go to Node1, or select networking, type network interface here, click on this network interface, type DNS server, select here, click save. Yeah, save has been completed successfully. Now go to Node virtual machines, click Node2, click networking, click private interface card, DNS servers, custom, paste it, save it. Okay, so dismiss all. Now we need to restart the systems. Node1 Node2. Okay, go to virtual machines here. So currently all three are running. Open your this multi-disk, click on servers, click on Node1 and Node2. Okay, click yes, click yes. Go to Node1, click on this, minimize this one. Okay, so Node1 is there. So now currently go to the firewall dot CPL. So it is now shutting down, no problem. I think it got restarted now. No problem. We'll see. See, successfully restarted. So it is node 1 is in restarting state and node 2. So I think it is always better to restart from inside virtual machine instead of restarting this virtual machine from the portal side. Why? Because if you consider VM is a container. On top of that, we are going to place a OS. Yep. So now restarting virtual machine has been for both node 1 and node 2 has been completed successfully. Now we are good. Click on node 1 and click on node 2. Minimize this one. Open run command. Type firewall.cpl. Click OK. Turn off this one. Okay. So now open your properties. Click this PC. Properties. Click change settings. By default, all systems are in work group. Change. Type here abc.com. Okay, now here you need to enter the domain IP address. So domain username. Okay, SQL admin@abc.com. Give the password. Okay, click OK. Yeah, this has been completed successfully. Click close. Click close. Okay, another way, if you want to see the firewall, let's see the firewall. Yeah, domain firewall is also there. Click turn turn off and you are good to restart now. Again go back to node 2. Don't click on this, minimize this one. Okay, now type run command, type firewall dot cpl. Okay, minimize this. You can restart later. Again go add firewall. So not yet, it is not yet added. Let's see. Either it will show after restart. Sometimes it will start after refresh only. So before going to log in here, so what we need to do here is click close. So now it is a part of domain. So that's the reason we have to always log in with the domain privileges. Come here. So the user is already there with the SQL admin. So type abc.com here, just added. It means the user with the domain user, we are going to log in the Node1. Click OK. Do the same thing. Sorry, properties rate of abc.com. OK. Now click on Node1 and Node2. Type firewall.cpl. So all three are turned off in Node1. Coming to Node2, type firewall.cpl. So I need to turn off the domain. Click OK. So let's check this the same settings in the DC as well. Minimize this. Type firewall.cpl. So turn off, turn off, turn off. Okay. So as of now, I so as of now I turn off all three domain public private firewalls in all three systems. Okay. Now open the documentation. Okay, the up to 9 points I have completed. Okay. Now I'm coming to create the virtual hard disk in the domain and assign to node 1. So go to this one, click on storage iSCSI, click on create disk. So I'm going to this for quorum. So I just quorum for quorum 5 GB is enough. Fixed size. Click next. New is the target server for what? Cluster. Okay. Click next. Click add here. So click browse here. Type node1. Click OK. Click OK. So once you added all the respective target servers, click next. So this is not required for us. Click next. Click create. So in this step, what I have done is I have created a virtual hard disk with 5 GB and I have given those Node1 and Node2 to get connect for that hard disk. Yeah, completed. Click close. Come here and type refresh. So right now it is not yet connected. Now again go to create virtual hard disk. Click create and give one more cluster 01. Okay, we are going to 2 build cluster, right? For that purpose I am giving this. Now type 20 GB fixed size. Click next. Okay, I am going to create one more hard disk. start here to click next. Again 20 GB fixed size, create. When completed, just click close. Okay, click refresh. So as of now, all three are not yet connected. So clear all the, click refresh. So here, so while assigning the disk letters, you will get confused. Why? Because this is 20 GB and this is 20 GB. So to avoid that, I'm going to click here, extend the virtual hard disk with 5 GB. Okay. Yeah. Now this disk is 5 GB, this disk is 20 GB, and this disk is 25 GB. So click refresh. As of now, all our status are not get connected. Now click on node 1, minimize this, now close this. Okay. Now uh, go to server manager, click on tools, type select ISKC initiator. So as of now, the service is not running. So better you, one of the best practices, go to services.msc. Here select select ISKC initiator. Okay, right now this is a manual. So but we need to select this as a automatic. Let's do that. Manage, click refresh. Okay, now open this one. So this automatically, whenever you press here, it automatically set up auto. If it is manual, so then you have to set this automatically. Okay. Now type the domain private IP address. I have named this. Copy this one, paste it here. Click connect. Done. Close. Do the same in Node2. Open your server manager. Click on tools. Type ISKC initiator. Select click yes. Paste the IP. Click connect. Done. Close it. Now come to DC. Just refresh here. Here all should be get connected. Click refresh. Yep. See connected, connected, connected. Okay. Minimize this one. Go to node 1. Go to server manager. Click on tools. Click on computer management. Click on disk. Select all the GPT only. Click OK. Okay. 5 is like new span volume. Click. Like next. This is a query route. For that purpose, I am selecting Q. Next NTFS. Default is 4. Next. Click finish. Do the same thing in Click disk management, select TPT, select the 5 GB, click new simple volume, click next, next, select the E drive, Q drive, next, 64-bit, click next, next, close. So for 5 GB this Q drive is the same and that one. Now go to node 1, come down, this is 20 GB, click next, next, E drive, okay, and DNF 64-bit, next, finish. Go to node 1, 20 GB, select as well, E drive, okay, 64-bit, finish. Come to node 1. So you can do all this, but for understanding purpose, so I'm doing this. Click next, click next. EF drive is okay for me. Next, select 64-bit, nice. Come down here, new simple volume, next, 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 select 64-bit, CF drive only, next, next, finish. Now, so we are having same sizes with same letters with the same file systems with same allocation. Okay. Now go to DC and refresh. Okay. Now see the letters are not simple like as local drives. Once you cluster, once it is back active node, it will change. The icons will get changed. Like this. Now I have done completed this point. Now I need to create the cluster using this PowerShell. Copy this. Okay. Now go to over multi-disk, open node 1, type here select. I am selecting ISC and as administrator. Paste it here. So here node 1, node 1, node 2. So 1.25 and 2.25. Okay. So same series I have given. Close this. Now click OK. Click hand here. So after error, we need to install a clustering feature as well in this machine. Node1, Node2. Okay. Now click next. Now come down. Fire clustering feature. Come down. Remote server administration, file servers, file clustering, uh, automation server. Click next. Click install. Now come back to this one. Go to server manager. Click next. Add roles. Click next. Next. Okay. Click next. Fa Sorry. Select failure clustering. I think I forgot to add this .NET 3.5 and automation feature. Let's see where I have added. I think I forgot it. No problem. I will update in the updated version. I will add this to all this too. Okay. See here. Okay. Sorry. This one I need to put that in the as a 12th point. Yes. So now click setup, select on setup, select the option setup, click right click on that, select run as administrator. Select install, select the installation. Now select new SQL Server failover cluster installation. Click on that. Yeah, it is going to be ignorable. New cluster errors. Okay, so I have not yet validated, right? So go to that, select that cluster, validate cluster. Click next, next. Okay, click finish. Open the wizard, click rerun. Click next, select developer, click next. I accept, next. Database engine. Okay, client tools connectivity, client backward to compatibility. Okay, click next. So now cluster named as SQL 2019-01. I don't know what is a cluster disk here. Just go to that. Cluster disk is 25 GB. Cluster disk 2 is called E. So I want to install cluster disk 2. So this we are installing in the Node1. That's the reason it is not giving option to select the IPv4. Now 10.1.1.50. Okay, click next. Grant volume here. Give to this. Browse. Select the enter active directory. SQL admin at the date abc.com. Click OK. Give the password. Click select the drop down window. Browse. So now SQL admin. Click next. Add current user. Data directories I'm going to place in this E drive. So all these options I will leave it by default. Click next. copy and paste on the drive. Mount here. Select the planning, select initialization, select new Pharaoh cluster. Go to DC and select DNS. And close. Okay. Select developer next. I accept next. Select database engine. Client tools connectivity. Client tools backward connectivity. Click next. Type here SQL cluster 01 SQL 2019-01. Sorry, I need to SQL 2019-01. Select the next. So select this one, disable this one. Select IPv4 type 10.1.1.50. Select next. Add browser type. Select drop down, browse SQL admin @abc.com. Check name. Sorry. SQL admin @abc.com. Check name. Click OK. Type the password. Select. Click next. Next. Click install. So failover cluster instance initialization has been completed successful on node 1. Click close button. Just this one is also not required. Click close. Okay, and now go to download and uninstall SSMS. Install SSMS. Click close. So installation of SSMS on node 1 has been completed successfully. Now go to node 2. So there is no drive. So now what I'm going to do here, click on download. So mount, click on set of file, run as administrator. Select initialization. Here click on add node to SQL Fiber cluster. Click on that. Developer. Click accept, next. Click yes, no problem. It's a multinet subnet. Click next. Click install. So we have added the node successfully. Click close. This is also close. Click close button. Now go to downloads, select SSMS and run as administrator. Click install. Now go to run command, select management studio and go to this one. Go to cluster roles. So SQL Server 2019 is running. Click on resources. So check disk volume. We can do that. Not this is like a drives issue. So I have installed that. If you open this one, so currently node 1 is up, right? That's the reason this is up. Node 2 is disabled. It is a passive node. That's it is an offline. Once you move to this will come online and this will be offline. 1.50 will be offline. Okay. Now open SSMS here. Yeah, we have successfully get connected. If right click on that properties, see if you see is clustered true. Okay. Now, okay, Node2. See, we are unable to connect to the cluster from node 2. Why? Because the active node is node 1. Okay, let's do that. Now open the cluster, this one. Go to the properties, select node 1 and node 2, apply, select. Yeah, now cluster is running on node 2. Okay, now if you try this, open this, run as a, you are unable to connect now. Why? Because the services are running on node 2. Okay, now open node 2, click connect. You are able to connect. Why? Because the services are running from node 2. So we will fix that issue. Okay, no problem. Okay, now now open this one and this one, mount. Okay, no problem. Just copy this, go to create a folder like test, paste it. Okay, so I got that. I don't want to use it. Why? Because this is another drive, right? So now I just open this window, go to this test, paste the all folders. Now select another administrator, installation. Now new SQL file or installation. Click next. Yeah, select that. Click next. browse, type SQL admin @abc.com. Click refresh, check, click OK, type the password, type SQL admin abc.com, check name, click OK. I am leaving all these options as it is. Click next. So we are building this as a active cluster. Why? Because one cluster services are running on node 1, one more cluster is running on node 2. So it means, so you can divide all of the future of the, if you, for example, if you are having 10 databases, you can run 5 databases on node 1, another 5 databases at node 2. So this is called as a active cluster. But generally I don't recommend. Why? Because uh, so why I need to preserve the more cluster. So if I have more windows, I will go for uh, with active passive cluster only. So for example, if you want to save the money by, why? Because we don't require another Windows license. So at that time, this scenario is the best. So initialization has been completed successfully. Click close, close, go to node 1, go to this PC, copy the drive, go to this drive, create one folder, any name. I'm renaming as a test, paste it here, double click on this. Yeah, so now E. Okay, so I don't want to run the E back, so I'm copying all these files, go to test and paste it here. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Now, Copy all this, go to the C drive, test folder and paste it. Okay, now so let's eject this. Okay, click initialization, add node Azure pair cluster. Click next. Click next. I accept next. Next. So here select IPv4 10.1.1.100. Yes. So node one initially we have added a cluster node to the SQL to the 1902 cluster. Okay, so if you see here, so two nodes are running from node 2. Now let's move to that properties. So all the nodes. Let's do that. Keep this. Node 01 server is running on node 2. 02 server is running on node 2. No. Okay. Now open this one. Click connect. So you are unable to connect. Why? Because these services are running from node 2. That's the reason you are unable to connect from node 1. So this is non issue. We have fixed for that. we are able to connect. So we will get this error, no problem. Just change SQL authentication and change Windows authentication. Okay, so we are able to connect. Okay, now open the documentation here. So we have done this as well, active cluster as well. Okay, so active passive up to now we have completed. Okay, now we need to install standalone SQL Server in Node1 and Node2. Okay, we'll do that. Go to Node1, go to test, click new standalone, click next, new developer, so next. So what is the username? So SQL Hyderabad 01. So no need to worry. This is like considered like as a Hyderabad. Okay. I mean data center. So SQL. This is SQL related. This is the version. This is the data center. This is the 01 server. So I am following that naming convention. Okay. Click next. Click close. Okay. So it has then it is not required. Just close it. Open SSMS and right click on that. Click browse more. So node1/Hyderabad 01. Okay. So click connect. So note this error. Just change authentication and change Windows. Click connect. Okay, we are able to connect. So let's see that how why it is. Okay, done. So now open the configuration manager 2019. See the protocols Hyderabad 01. So TCP IP is disabled, right? Enable it so that you can connect. Okay, done. Now close it. Now go back to the node 2. Select another administrator. Click installation. Node new standalone. Next. select all required services, click next. Grant volume, select the grant volume here, type SQL admin. So but this is not the right admin. Why? Because we need to select that one. Yeah, type SQL admin at the date ABC, click OK, and type రికార్డ్ అవుతుంది, రికార్డ్ అవుతుంది. Select the grant, click next, come down, add current user, click next, install. So connect, close it. Okay, now open your SSMS and click connect. So we are able to connect to the node standalone instance. Okay, okay. Now go to the DC. Let's do that in Excel. Open the private notepad. Okay. Private IP, public IP. Okay. So just I'm summarizing everything. Okay. So just go to the portal, DC, copy and open Excel, public IP. Go to Node2, copy the public IP and Node1. Node2, okay, this is public IP. Now to come Node1, this is the IP. Open multi-disk, come down, type ipconfig, sorry, type open CMD, type ipconfig. So 1.1.5. Dot 1.5. Okay. Now go back to the node 2. Okay, this is all the private IP address. Okay, so now IP, let's see that cluster IPs and everything. So what is that cluster IP that I have given for node 1? 10.1.1.50, 10.1.2.50. After that, for one more cluster, what I have given here, 100, right here. I have given for this one. Okay, this is not right. Okay, uh, for cluster. Okay, now open multi-class cluster. So now go to node 1. See, these are the IPs that I have written. Okay, 2.10, 1.10. Now go back 2.50, 1.50. These IPs I have given. Okay, now so this is the info that we need to have summarized it for your convenience. Okay, now go to Azure portal, go to node 1, go to networking, go to interface card, go to IP configurations. Now close this window, not required. Open your Excel sheet. So add these IPs in your private IP address. Okay, click add name, um, cluster A, just for noding one. Okay, uh, just static IP address I want to add. Okay, so I don't require this one. Click OK. Remove any extra spaces. Click OK. Okay, now open that again. Copy this one. Click add cluster B, static IP address, or click OK. Click OK. So I have added this. Now do the same thing for node 2. Go to networking, private IP address, IP network, IP configurations. Click add. No, sorry, cluster 1, static. Click OK. Okay, open. 2. Click OK. Yeah, I have done it. So now go to virtual machines here, everything. So I need to restart the node 2, but services are running. So let's fail over to the node 1 so that I can fail over node 2. So currently all services are running on node 1. So I'm good to restart the node 2. Yeah, now running. Now go to browser. Here type restart. Now see, so until, so that will be passing the command. So here also we need to restart. Sorry, I need to restart. Yeah, server is up. Now go back to the node 2. Move. Yeah. So now we are good to restart. Close all the windows. So done, and reset as go to node 1 and restart here as well. Why? Because we need to update this information as well, this IP network as well. Or otherwise, I will recommend instead of restarting in the inside button inside, so I will recommend to restart here as well, here only. So if it is not getting restarted, then here restart the services inside that and come back to again click here. Okay. So why? Because I need to update this information in the private NIC card, that what are the IPs that we have added. So it will take 5 minutes of time. Just wait and refresh. Yeah, disable this thing. Yeah, open cluster manager and SSMS as well. Yeah, two nodes are running successfully and node 2. Let's see whether we are able to connect or not from node 1. we are able to connect to the node 1. Okay, start. Okay, and try to connect node 2, node 2 standalone instance, node 2 2. So we are unable to. Why? Because we have not yet restarted the service. Go to this services.msc. Why? Because we have changed that one, right? SQL services. So we are. So both are running on node 2. So let's move 0 SQL 2019-01 to the node 1. Now, So we are able to connect the cluster instance which is running on node 1 from node 2. See, if you see here, so I'm 01 and 01. Okay, 0. Okay, now let's connect 02. We are able to connect. Just open this one. Okay, this is the clustered instance. Clustered instance. So now this one I'm able to connect node 1. So if you go to node 1, open this one. Okay, and here node 1 0 is running in node 2, and this node 2 is on running node 2. 02 is running on node 2. So I have created like that. Okay, now first we will see the node. Okay, now let's see the firewall. And let's do the from node 1. Okay, so I'm opening. I'm just trying to connect standalone instance of node 1. Okay, I'm connected. So let's see this start. Yeah, I'm able to connect that standalone instance of node 1. I'm trying to connect from 2. Yes, I'm able to connect. Yeah, no, this is not required. Later we will see. So I'm able to connect. Okay, now let's connect it. Cluster IP. Yeah, I'm able to connect. I'm able to connect. See, I'm able to connect all the instance, all the servers from node 2. So it means what are the fix that we have done via Azure portal that has been get successful. Okay. Now let's do the same from node 1. Okay. By default, it will get connected by because it is hosted in the same instance. Yes, this is also connected. Yeah, I'm able to connect all the instances from node 1. Yeah, as of now we have done. So now let's do the download the H1 database. Okay, let's fix that. I'm going to configure always on the standalone instance. You can do the same thing on the payload cluster instances, but I would like to do that in the standalone instance. Okay, just open the configuration manager. Okay, click on the standalone click on SQL services. Okay, expand this, identification. This is the standalone instance. Open this one, go always on, click enable. Okay, click apply. Okay, now select this one, restart. Yeah, we have done. Now go to the node 2, open configuration manager, select SQL services, identify the service, right click on properties, availability group, and now click apply. Okay, click OK. Now restart. Click refresh. Now go back to the node 1. So now I'm creating a one database, new call always on. So default is okay, or otherwise I can set it as a SA. Okay. Now click options, that is full recovery. Click OK. So I'm taking the backup, full backup. Okay, click OK. Okay. Now go to the C drive. Type create a folder with the name called always on. Name can be anything. Right click on that, properties. Click share. Share everyone, or for the instance for the service account. Click everyone. Right. Okay. Now go back to the always on here. Click refresh. New availability group. AG AO. Always on availability groups available. Okay. Not required. These are required. Next. Yes. Click OK. OK. Replica. Node2. Select the synchronous commit. Synchronous commit. Read only secondary. Yes. So we can select your options as per your requirement. Endpoints. Backup listener. We can create it later. Okay. Select the read only or not required for now. Click next. So here I want to take you the okay. So next. So check the compatibility database file locations and server instance that holds okay. So now this path is not going to there in the secondary replica. Okay, now show details. This file, just copy this, open notepad, paste it here. Okay, now go back to the node 2, go to C drive, program files, Microsoft SQL Server. Here I want to configure this one. Okay. This one. Now create a folder. MS SQL. Go open that. Yeah. So now that file is file is there. Location is also. Now go back to node 1. Next. Actually, this should not take it. So click cancel. So open this window. Open. Next. So this window AG A not required this one. Yeah. All are success. Click next. Click finish. Yeah. Always as configuration has been done successful. Yeah, done. Now availability database is done. Okay. Now I want to configure always on listener. Age always on AGLS. Okay. Port number 6789. Static IP. Give that. This is a two node cluster, right? So 10.1.1.25 have given 100 has given, so I am selecting 75. So now click add 10.1.2.75. Yeah, I have done it. Click OK. Yeah, all listener configuration are also done successfully. Click OK. Click OK. AG listeners. Okay. Okay, done. Now, now try to connect. What is the listener name? AGLS slash AGAO, comma 6789. Yeah, I'm able to connect. Let's see this from Node2. Oh, why I'm not able to connect? Same reason. Why? Because I need to add those IPs in firewall. Okay, so I need to click on that this one. Let's do that and close this window. This also open Excel sheet here. Okay, here 10.1.1.75. Okay, 10.1.2.75. I need to add these two IPs. This IP in the node 1 and this IP in the node 2. Okay, this is always on listener IP. Okay, so then only I'm able to connect from this window. Okay, let's do that. Copy, click networking, IP configurations. add al always on listener IP static, paste the IP, click OK. Now go back to the home, Node2, networking, Node2, copy this IP, configurations, add static add which this is always on IP, static paste it, check the space, is there any no space, click OK. Now try to connect from node 1, from node 2. Okay, go to no copy. If it is not connect, then we need to restart the system. Okay, no problem. Yes, we have successfully connected from node 2 through listener name. Okay, if you are facing any issues, we need to restart the system. Okay, you need to get that IP effective. So we are able to connect. We are successfully configured always on. Now we need, it's time to for log shipping. Just go to the new database, log shipping. Okay, now go back to the this center. Now so now before doing this, let's fail over. Okay, uh, you can also fail over from this center. Okay, see, always on everything. Node currently node 1 are doing this. Okay, as of now, if you go through this properties, always on properties, failover manual, failover manual. It means I can do the manual failover from here. Okay, click refresh, failover, click connect. Yeah, I have failover successfully as well. Let's see I'm able to connect or not using listener. Listener, click connect. I'm able to connect even after failure as well. It means I have successfully configured always on. So let's do that in for log shipping. Okay, I have created a database with the log shipping. Okay, now create one folder, log shipping. Just share it. I have shared it. I just take the physical copy path. Now go back to this one, properties. Now transaction log shipping, enable this job backup job, share the network path and the physical path as well. Copy this path, paste it. I'm going with the default settings. Okay. Okay, I'm not able to see the window, so let's reconnect in full screen mode. Okay, so okay, done. First one, okay. Now click backup. So I'm not getting the OK button, right? Here, click here and log shipping properties. Copy this path. Go to C drive. Log shipping. Okay. Click OK. So click add. Click connect um, to the node, secondary node. Yeah, I've done it. Since it is a small database, so I am telling the wizard to copy and do the restore yourself. But in the real time, we have to manually restore and we have to select this option. If the backups already existed, then we need to select this option. Already exist, we need to give that path. Okay, so as of now, I'm giving this option to this one, copy files, where I need to copy these files. Now, for that purpose, go to this one. I'm in Node2. I'm creating the same folder, log shipping. Alright, defaulted, so standby mode. Okay, and the other is click on OK. So right now I'm having only two instances. That's the reason I'm not able to configure mount instance. Click OK. So I have successfully configured log shipping. Let's see the database is created or not. See, the log shipping database has been created. Okay, so log shipping job, log shipping is going to work through jobs. Let's see the backup jobs are created. LS backup job, alert job. If instance is there, monitor instance, this alert is going to configure on the instance instead of in the this node. Okay, one alert job will be get created. So now go back to the now. So copy job, restore job. Okay, now go to mirroring, new database, mirroring. So now just right click on that, take backup, node1 slash Okay, now I'm trying to create the dedicated. Okay, and so that I can easily differentiate. So write mirror dot bak. Okay, click OK. Uh, take the script. Click execute. Yeah, I have done. Close. Now go to instances. Select the node2 and restore. So click restore. Click execute. Yeah, restoration has been completed. So just select refresh or go to that. So yeah, I have created restore. Now it's good to configure mirroring. Go to so now mirroring, configure security, next, no, next, next, connect the node. So next, not required. This is already finish. Click close. Start mirroring. I have done it. Okay. So click close. So currently node 1 is principal. Right click on this. So select here. Click upper arrow. Enter. So now mirroring. So click on failover. Yes. Okay. Now if refresh, it is secondary. So it is become mirror. See, mirror synchronize. So we have successfully configured mirroring as well. Now I have to configure uh, replication. Go to google.com. No thanks, not now. Type adventure works. Select 2099 by. Okay. Now go back to the node 1. Select restore database. Go to the download. I'm pasting a C drive. Okay. Now Go back to the hard drive. Done it. So now go to replication, configure distribution services. So I want to configure Node1 as a distributor and publisher. Node1 act as a own distributor. Yes. Yes, configure they say automatically yes, yes, yes. So here I need to publish. Yes, this is also publisher. Next, Node1 as a publisher. Next, next, finish. Done it. Now go to the local publication, new publication. Click next. So select always on. Next, select transaction replication. Click next. So go to tables, person.others. Next. This is not required. I don't want to filter. Create a shell deal. Next. Select agent. Run it. This is enough. Next. Finish. So transactional replication. TR. Okay. Click finish. I have done it here. Now right click in this new subscriptions. Next. Next. Yeah, I want to push only a subscriber. Next. Node2. Here I want to create a new database. Replication. Database can be anything. Okay, it should not be same. Okay, it is not mandatory to be same. Okay, next. Click OK. Next, next, finish. Done it. Okay, so let's see that whether it is got replicated or not. Snapshot was generated. Could not replicate. Said node 1. So go to files. See there is no database name. Check name. Yes. Okay. This one I need to do that. So replication database files. Yeah, no problem. Now see that logs are not that or not. Now see security logins. So there is no agent, right? So now click login, search SQL admin at vbc.com. So now go to that interactive directory, check names, okay, server, sysadmin, okay. Sysadmin, okay. So now go back to the node 2. Sysadmin is there, yeah. Night. Yeah, it is running. replication is running and agent is running, log reader is also running. Okay, now good. See, let's see. So okay, it means no replicate I will mean that what are the records that now go back to the replication, refresh the database and refresh the instance, expand the database, replication table will be there. See, the records will be there. So it means the transaction what are the replication we have configured that went success. Okay, so the only thing is we need to have the database's name or the database owner should be there. Okay, not required for this. Okay, so we have configured successfully everything. We have configured failover instances. We have installed standalone instances. On the top of standalone instances, we have configured always on. On standard instance only, we have configured log shipping, mirroring, replication. Now you want to do any practical, any scenario which is happening in the production. If any client comes and asks you do this is possible and this is not possible, so to come to that conclusion you can build this kind of lab and you can do that experiment and you can simulate the same results. So based on your your consciousness you can inform to the client, and based on your downtime and your convenience you can implement the same in your production. So so for you, I have summarized everything in the Excel sheet here. What are the nodes that I have used? What are the IPs? Now, one more thing that I would like to remember you is IP configurations. Click on that. So always this should be static. So always provide to be lab or anything. So I always prefer to be in static, either for the private IP address as well for the public IP as well. Why? Because I don't want to change each and every time. Okay, that I need to remember you. Okay, now go back to this one. I am going to give that updated document here as well. Okay, in the description box, and I'm going to give the IPs as well. So you can simulate on your own. Okay, and get the comment either either this video is helpful or not for you. I hope you may like this video. Thank you.